This video is brought to you by my good friends over at patriotpost.us. They are an excellent source of news, information, op-eds, and all that good stuff. And the link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Bernie Sanders effectively breaking up Public Enemy after 37 years of them being together. Now, if you don't quite understand what's going on and you need some context, let me back up a little bit here to explain what's happening. First of all, Public Enemy, very well-known rap group, been around since the early 80s. They have the songs Fight the Power, Number One is a Joke, Don't Believe the Hype. They are a very well-known rap group, been around for a very long time. They're known as kind of a revolutionary or politically conscious rap group. Now, they've had their ups and downs with the, in my humble opinion, most visible member of the group, Flavor Flav, throughout the years. I mean, he's had battles with drug and alcohol addiction. I mean, he had the reality show where he was doing all kind of things on Flavor Flav. He was doing a lot of things that made the leader of the group, Chuck D, be kind of like, I don't like this too much. This is not Public Enemy, this, that, and the third. You know, people want to accuse him of being a clown or a buffoon, but we got to pause on that for a minute because Flavor Flav was always the guy that was, you know, really colorful, wearing really big, exaggerated jewelry, the big clock, the Viking helmet, all kind of stuff. That's Flavor Flav. That's the guy he's always been from the very beginning. Some would say he does not fit Public Enemy in their quote unquote political messaging, which we'll get to in a minute. But without Flavor Flav, there is no Public Enemy. He is or was the most notable person in the group, the most recognizable. He brought the most eyes to the group. And don't get it twisted, Flav is no moron, not at all. You may see the antics and you may see the clock and the yeah, boy, all of that. That's just a character, really, in my humble opinion. He's had his issues with drug and alcohol addiction, but aside from all of that, Flav is a very smart guy. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, fast forward to today in March 2020, there's a rally in Los Angeles. That was actually yesterday. That was March 1st. Public Enemy was marketed as being the group that were going to perform, but it was not really Public Enemy. It was Public Enemy Radio. Matter of fact, I'll place the poster for this particular rally and performance on the screen before you, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in right here. You can see under the Public Enemy logo, it says radio right below the Y in Public Enemy. It says radio right there. Okay. So it's very hard to see, but it's right there. Now, why is that important? Why is that a distinction that must be made? It's because Public Enemy Radio does not have Flavor Flav or Professor Griff or Terminator X, who's been gone from the group since '98. Public Enemy Radio was just Chuck D, the S1W, Security of the First World, and DJ Lord, who came in after Terminator X in '98. This has been going on for a very long time. Although Flav was still part of Public Enemy, he was not part of Public Enemy Radio, and Public Enemy Radio had been doing shows and whatnot for probably 2, 3, 4, however many years without Flav. And Griff got X'd out from the group in 2016 and 2017 due to some anti-Semitic and homophobic comments made on the podcast. Now, whether they were homophobic or anti-Semitic is a different story, so I digress. The whole point is that Professor Griff was not in the group, had not been in the group for a few years, and now Flavor Flav got fired on the very same day that the Bernie Sanders rally was held. Now, some are going to say, hey, ABL, it's not Bernie Sanders' fault that Flav got fired from the group. This is the final straw. Well, yeah, I mean, it may have been the final straw, but like I said, Flav has been the same guy, in my humble opinion, since the early 80s. I'm 35. The group is older than me. He's been the same guy throughout that whole time. So why is it now, 37 years later, you want to fire him? It seems like Bernie Sanders was like too much to overcome. The drugs, you can overcome that. You can overcome the alcohol. You can overcome the reality shows. You can overcome a lot of the public things that Flav has had. But Bernie Sanders, you can't get over that. Now, what happened with Bernie Sanders is this. Since they were promoting the show as Public Enemy, and it was kind of hard to see the radio up under the logo, people thought that it was going to be Flav, maybe even Griff, that were going to be there. And then, of course, the Sanders campaign are marketing Public Enemy being at the LA rally with him. And I'm hearing that they're using Flavor Flav's likeness and the clock and the yeah, boy, all of that. It's like, well, wait a minute. I'm not going to be there. Okay, the group that you're going to get is Public Enemy Radio, not Public Enemy. I'm part of Public Enemy, and I'm not going to be there. I've not been asked to do this. I've not been contracted for this. So Bernie Sanders campaign, here's a cease and desist letter from my lawyer. And there was a handwritten part at the bottom of the letter from Flav himself that says, Bernie, don't do this. Meaning, look, I'm not involved with this. I don't want to be part of what's going on. So cease and desist. Stop using my likeness. So Chuck D, who is a sole proprietor, by the way, of Public Enemy, he has a trademark to it. He drew it. I think he might have been in college when he did it. Anyway, he fires Flav on the very same day as the rally. And I think the reason why he did that is because you have this big story from Flav about a cease and desist letter, about not wanting to be part of this as Public Enemy. So he has to make it be known that Flav is not part of the Public Enemy brand anymore to save face. Because like I said, they had been doing shows as Public Enemy Radio for quite a while now without Flav. So there was no reason to fire him because he wasn't going to be part of that show anyway because they had been doing shows without him. It was a way to save face. And it's really kind of a shame because a lot of people grew up with Public Enemy. They liked the group. They liked the songs. Now it's just been wiped away because of a Bernie Sanders spat. It's just crazy. But to speak about Public Enemy right quick, their songs, Fight the Power, That Be, all this, that, and the third. How you going to come out and perform Fight the Power, Chuck D, at a Bernie Sanders rally when this guy wants to give the government even more power? Okay, you want to take over education, healthcare, business, farming, trade, everything wants to be powered by the government. You want to say fight the power, but the guy that you have in the poster with his microphone and fist up or whatever in the Public Enemy style wants to have more government, which means more power will be given to the government than is currently had. You should be rocking the MAGA hat or something like that if you want to fight the power, or at least be libertarian or conservative. I mean, good grief. Like, why would you give this communist, self-admitted, self-proclaimed democratic socialist the title of the guy that's going to help you fight the power? It doesn't make any sense at all. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype around Bernie Sanders and his programs that he has no idea how he's going to fund. Don't believe the hype that the programs will actually work. Don't believe the hype that anyone on the right are racist, sexist, homophobic, this, that, and the third. It ain't like that. So this is really a shame. Like I said, 37 years they've been together as a group, and now they break up over Bernie Sanders. Some are going to say it'd been coming for a long time, but it ain't came yet. I wonder if there's no cease and desist letter, do they break up? I don't think so. They broke up on that very same day. Like I said, I think Chuck D, who can be very petty, got embarrassed, didn't like that letter being out there. It was a bad look on him. It made them look crazy. Then he says, okay, you're fired from the group now. So the group as it stands today is just really Chuck D. Okay, you have the DJ Lord. He's not going to be rapping. The S1Ws are going to be in the background just, posted up like security. It's only going to be Chuck D rapping. There's no more Griff. There's no more Flav. It's just him by himself, and it's really a crying shame, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Public Enemy breaking up officially over the Bernie Sanders kerfuffle? Whatever your views on that, let me know in the comments below. Do you think that I'm wrong in saying that it was Bernie Sanders that broke up the group? Could it be the fact that there have been many transgressions from Flavor Flav against the group? I think Flav actually sued Chuck D and Public Enemy in 2017 over some unpaid monies that were due to him. It could have been because of that, but that's been 3 years ago and they hadn't broke up yet. All Chuck D did was create Public Enemy Radio to go out there and get money as them. Maybe that could be a legal thing as well, because if you owe money to a person as Public Enemy, but then you go out and get money as Public Enemy Radio, you can say, hey, I don't make any cash as Public Enemy, and that's where the debt is owed. I get my money over here, which does not include him. Could that be what's going on? I think what we have here is syndrome called Bernie derangement syndrome, better known as BDS for short, which fits due to Bernie Sanders' view on APEC, but I digress. Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I gotta say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.